Do you often feel this way? You work 12 hours, sacrificing sleep and all social time. And what's the result at the end of the day? Your heart feels empty. You feel like you did everything right, but in reality, nothing truly changed. You might think that effort automatically leads to achievement. But the brutal truth is, a sense of accomplishment arises when the results of your efforts truly match your expectations. Without clear goals, you're just spinning your wheels. Hello everyone, I'm T&M, a channel dedicated to helping people improve work efficiency and rediscover joy in their work. Have you ever experienced that feeling of giving your all, yet gaining nothing? Don't worry, you're not alone. Today, we're going to expose a trap many people fall into: work hours don't equal a sense of accomplishment. This sounds counterintuitive, right? We've been taught since childhood that hard work pays off. Effort leads to reward. But why do we often find ourselves spending a vast amount of time, only to feel no sense of accomplishment at all? Even worse, we're left with overwhelming fatigue and self-doubt. Behind this lie several key psychological blind spots and behavioral patterns. In today's video, I want to deeply dissect this misconception and tell you how to truly achieve more with less, so that every bit of your effort can be transformed into a tangible sense of accomplishment. Ready? Let's begin. 4 traps that drain your accomplishment. Trap 1: using busyness to mask aimlessness. Are you often like this? You work very hard, but in reality, you don't actually know what you want to achieve. So, you measure your success by the amount of time you put in, rather than by actual impact. You constantly keep yourself busy, because it helps mask that deep-seated anxiety of not being good enough. You're afraid to stop and reflect, because facing that uncertainty is truly terrifying. This is the reality for many creators and freelancers. You open your computer and see a pile of to-do items. Then you bury your head in work, busy from morning till night. You think that as long as you get everything done, you'll feel accomplished. But the truth is, you're just busy for the sake of being busy. You have no clear goals, no metrics. You just know you can't stop. Because once you stop, the anxiety hidden beneath the busyness will surface. You might be afraid to be idle, afraid to face inner emptiness. So you constantly fill your schedule. But this blind busyness is like running in a maze without a map. The faster you run, the further you get from the exit. You're not building your best work, you're building a version of yourself that you hope others will admire as hardworking. This kind of fatigue is meaningless. It will only pull you further away from a true sense of accomplishment. Trap 2: mistaking input for output. The second trap is a common mistake we make: we mistake input for output. You spend a lot of time writing drafts, editing videos, and replying to messages. You believe that as long as these actions occur, it means you're producing results. But have you considered what substantial changes these actions ultimately bring? Input refers to the time, energy, and resources you expend. Output refers to the specific results and value brought about by these inputs. For example, you spent 8 hours writing an article. These 8 hours are input. But if the article's content is empty, no one reads it, and it solves no problems, then its output is 0. Where would your sense of accomplishment come from? Many people often fall into a work hour fallacy. They believe that as long as they work long enough, it means they're working hard enough and should feel accomplished. But this is like a novice at the gym spending 8 hours a day there, yet not knowing how to train correctly. They might be very tired, but their physical fitness doesn't substantially improve. This pseudo-effort ultimately leads only to exhaustion, not real progress. Trap 3: over-focusing on perfection, neglecting completion. The third trap, and the culprit that kills countless senses of accomplishment, over-focusing on perfection and neglecting completion. You always want to do everything perfectly. No detail can be overlooked. A draft is revised again and again, a video is edited over and over. You set extremely high, even harsh, demands on yourself. This traps you in an endless revision loop. You spend a vast amount of time polishing details that make little difference. But your work is constantly delayed from being completed and published. This obsession with perfection makes you miss many opportunities for learning and growth. When your work forever remains in an unfinished state, you can never receive market feedback. You can't know if your efforts are in the right direction. You can't learn from others' comments. All your time invested is like pouring into a bottomless pit. Without an end, there's no sense of accomplishment. Please remember, completion is 10,000 times more important than perfection. A piece that's only 80% perfect but is completed and has an impact is far more valuable than a piece that remains 99% perfect but never sees the light of day. Trap 4. Lack of visualized progress and victories. The last trap, and the easiest to overlook, a lack of visualized progress and victories. Our brains need positive feedback to keep functioning. When we can't see clear progress and can't celebrate small victories, it's easy to feel discouraged and lose motivation. Imagine a game without an experience bar or level up notifications. You play for a long time, but you don't know if you've gotten stronger. Would you still want to keep playing? Creation and work are the same. If your efforts are just individual tasks, not strung together into a clear progress bar, it'll be hard to feel your growth. When you can't clearly see how far you've come and what you've accomplished, you'll feel like your efforts are in vain. This feeling of effort not being seen will greatly erode your sense of accomplishment. It will make you feel like you're standing still, and all your time invested becomes meaningless. Solutions: reshaping your accomplishment loop. Alright, we've dissected 4 common traps. Now, it's time to look at the solutions. To truly regain a sense of accomplishment, you need to reshape your accomplishment loop. Let your effort no longer just be spending time, but transform into meaningful results. Step 1. Clarify the definition of success. Your outcome-oriented guide. To break the dilemma of busy but unfulfilled, first, please clarify what success truly means to you. A sense of accomplishment comes from the alignment between results and expectations. If you don't know what you want to achieve, then no result will satisfy you. How to do it? Before you start any task, ask yourself a few questions. What is the ultimate goal of this task? What specific results should it bring? For example, not just I want to write an article, but I want to write an article that 500 people will read and that helps them understand X concept. How do I measure whether this goal is achieved? What are the standards for success? For example, the article gets 500 clicks, or receives 10 positive comments. What is the significance of this outcome to me? Can it help me grow? Can it help others? Can it realize some value of mine? When you clearly define success and set specific metrics for it, your efforts will gain direction. Every time you complete a small goal, you'll clearly know that you've moved another step closer to ultimate success. This clarity will greatly boost your sense of accomplishment. Because you know your time is being efficiently converted into meaningful results. Step 2. Set small, measurable micro-goals. Stack your sense of victory. Many people are intimidated by grand goals and then hesitate to start. But to regain a sense of accomplishment, you need to learn to break down large goals into countless small, measurable micro-goals. And celebrate every tiny victory. Imagine a super large project. If you only stare at the final outcome, you'll feel immense pressure. But what if you break down this project into 3 small things you can accomplish each day? For example, write the outline of the article. Collect 5 relevant case studies. Complete the first 300 words of the draft. Every time you complete one of these, you'll immediately feel the joy of a small victory. This immediate feedback will continuously inject dopamine into your brain, motivating you to keep moving forward. It's like playing a game, constantly completing small tasks, earning small rewards, accumulating experience points, and eventually defeating the final boss. Learn to enjoy the process, rather than just staring at the finish line. When you focus on stacking your sense of victory, you'll find that even if your work hours remain the same, your sense of accomplishment multiplies. Because your efforts are no longer aimless, every step is visible progress. Step 3. Practice time boxing and deep work. Enhance quality, reduce blind busyness. To make your time have a greater impact, you need to change your working style. I recommend 2 highly effective strategies: time boxing and deep work. Time boxing. Instead of letting work fill your time, set a fixed and short time box for your work. For example, I'll spend only 90 minutes writing this article. Stop when the time is up, no matter where you are. This avoids indefinite procrastination and overanalysis of details. It forces you to focus on the most important things within a limited time, improving efficiency. Deep work. Create a period of completely undisturbed deep work time for yourself. During this time, turn off all notifications, close irrelevant tabs, and reject any distractions. Focus on tasks that require high concentration and creativity. For example, writing, strategic planning, problem solving. You'll find that 1 hour of deep work can create more value than 3 scattered hours of shallow work. When you learn to manage your time, instead of being managed by time, you can shift your focus from how much time was spent to what value was created. This transformation from quantity to quality will make every minute of your effort more meaningful, leading to a stronger sense of accomplishment. Step 4. Regularly reflect and celebrate. Solidify your accomplishment loop. Finally, and most importantly, you need to learn to regularly reflect on and celebrate your achievements. We often just rush forward, forgetting to look back at how far we've come. This oversight creates a blind spot for our efforts, making us feel no progress. How to do it? Weekly reflection. Choose a fixed time each week to review what you accomplished that week. Even trivial small things, record them. For example, completed drafts for 3 articles, learned a new editing skill, replied to 10 important emails. Write in your success journal, daily or weekly. Write down moments that made you proud. It could be completing a difficult task, receiving positive feedback, or overcoming a challenge. Give yourself a reward. Whenever you complete an important milestone, give yourself a small reward. It could be watching a movie, enjoying a big meal, or just having a completely relaxing time. This ritual of reflection and celebration can solidify your accomplishment loop. It sends positive signals to your brain: your efforts are paying off. You're awesome. This continuous positive feedback will become your source of motivation to keep moving forward, filling you with power and satisfaction on your creative and professional journey. Summary: transcend time, embrace value. You see, work hours don't equal a sense of accomplishment. It's not that you're not trying hard enough, it's that you need to work smarter. You need to shift from an input-oriented approach to an output-oriented one. You need to set clear goals for yourself, break down big goals into small victories, learn efficient strategies, and regularly reflect and celebrate. When you change your metrics and change your work style, you'll find that even with the same time investment, the sense of accomplishment you feel will be worlds apart. If you also often feel blindly busy but lack a sense of accomplishment, if you long for your efforts to truly be seen, then I invite you to join my daily newsletter, IC Lab. In IC Lab, I will write you a letter every day, sharing more practical strategies on how to find meaning in work, improve efficiency, and ignite your creative passion. It will help you solve problems from the root, providing you with daily motivation and inspiration. Because I know that every hard-working one of you deserves to be seen. Join IC Lab, and let's make your efforts visible together. tmtm.gumroad.com. If you found this video helpful, please be sure to give me a like. This is very important to me. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more practical content on efficient work and self-growth in the future. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Remember, your value isn't in how long you work, but in what you create. Starting today, learn to infuse meaning into your time and make every effort full of accomplishment. We'll see you in the next video.